Ever pondered the roots of democracy, the cherished system of government that champions the voice of the people? One might think that such a revered concept would have been universally accepted throughout history. Yet, isn't it fascinating that one of the greatest philosophers of all time, Plato, was not its biggest fan? Plato, the classical Greek philosopher, was a student of Socrates and the teacher of Aristotle. His philosophical journey began in the shadow of Socrates, who was put to death by the democratic Athenian state. This tragic event significantly shaped Plato's thoughts about democracy. Initially, Plato held a fairly positive view of democracy. He saw it as a system where freedom reigned, where every citizen had a say in the governance of the state. He appreciated the equality and liberty that democracy offered, the way it allowed for diverse views and opinions. However, the execution of Socrates, his beloved mentor, in a democratic Athens, marked a turning point in Plato's perception of democracy. After Socrates' death, Plato's views started to evolve, becoming more critical. He began to see democracy as a flawed system, one that could easily descend into chaos and disorder. Plato was concerned that in a democracy, power was in the hands of the many, who were often uneducated and easily swayed by impassioned rhetoric. He feared that this could lead to the rise of demagogues, charismatic leaders who could manipulate public opinion for their own ends. In his masterwork, The Republic, Plato proposed an alternative form of government, a philosopher-king ruling over an organized, hierarchical society. He believed that those who truly understood justice and the good should lead, rather than those chosen by the masses. His ideal ruler was a philosopher-king, a person steeped in wisdom and virtue, not swayed by personal interests or popular opinion. Plato's critique of democracy is as relevant today as it was in ancient Greece. It invites us to question, to critically examine our systems of governance, and to continually strive for their betterment. To summarize, Plato began his journey appreciating the freedom and equality of democracy, but the execution of his mentor, Socrates, led him to question its efficacy. His concerns revolved around the potential for chaos, the rise of demagogues, and the rule of the uneducated. Plato proposed an alternative in the form of a philosopher-king ruling over a structured society. His critique challenges us to question and improve our systems of governance, emphasizing the importance of wisdom and virtue in leadership. The exploration of Plato's views on democracy is far from a mere historical inquiry. It's a journey into the heart of our own systems, a reflection on the values we uphold and the leaders we choose. It's a reminder that the quest for the ideal form of governance, like any worthy endeavor, is a continual process of questioning, learning, and evolving.